Hey everyone, this is Jen and you're watching BPD Woman. On this channel, you will learn to live more effectively with your borderline personality disorder. My goal is to help you learn more about your emotions, how to more effectively regulate them, manage your behaviors, and adapt to healthier choices and patterns of thinking. My goal is to help you realize your goals, whether they are in love, career, relationships, or more emotional stability, by using my own personal experience of living with the disorder, as well as offering DBT skills. I'm not a life coach or a psychologist or a therapist. However, I can answer one question that most of those folks cannot, which is, what is it like to live with BPD? I was diagnosed over 20 years ago, and I have spent my time since then in DBT, about 5-6 sessions of DBT, therapy, hospitalizations. I've read all of the books, all the workbooks. I own them. I've reread them. You get the idea. I'm pretty committed to my recovery. So if that sounds good to you, please hit subscribe and the bell below so you never miss a beat. I produce anywhere from 3 to 5 videos each week, and I'd love you to check them out. And just as a reminder, if you have borderline personality disorder, congratulations, because you have one of the most highly treatable, most understood, well-researched, and well-versed by many more professionals in the mental health sector than any of the other 15 or so personality disorders. We have a higher remission rate. We have a higher recovery rate. The outlook is positive. Okay, it's not a death sentence. It's not something that you're going to live with for life if you don't want to. All personality disorders are maladaptive, ingrained patterns of behavior and thinking. So change your brain, change your life, change your behavior, change your life. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about some steps that can help you change your life, and it's right in your pocket. So let's make it work for you. We've all got one. I'm recording this video on one right now, and that's your phone. Let's talk about how to make your phone work for your BPD recovery. Now, I know that sounds a little bit counterintuitive, right? My phone creates so much stress. I'm always checking it. I mean, I know from my point of view that I'm always checking it to see, did they text me back? Let me refresh. Did I get an email? Oh, did I get a like on my video? Did I get a new comment? Right? It can often become a source of I just want all of the stimulus to stop. I want people to stop reaching out to me. Or it can be a reminder of loneliness, right? If we don't have many people texting us or reaching out, things like that. Or when will they text? Oftentimes, and try this for yourself, when you do need that break, and taking breaks from your phone is a healthy thing, and up until 20 years ago, no one even had cell phones. I mean, if they did, they were big, bulky, and they had replaceable battery packs, and people were like, why do I need this? And now, right? Can you think of not having one on you? If you don't have your phone, you're like, where is it? Where is it? So let's make it work for us. Let's flip all of that negative stuff I just said, and let's turn it into a positive. So there are things that I am going to list here today that I use that have worked for me. I rely on them a little bit less these days, but there are some things that I still go back to that can really help. So let's talk about making your phone work for you. The Portable Distress Toolkit. That's what it is, your phone, the Portable Distress Toolkit. So a few things to note here. In DBT, there is a module called Distress Tolerance, and in that module, they offer tools and tips on how to soothe yourself, right? And in one of my DBT classes, they asked us to create a portable distress tolerance kit. So, some people brought in aromatherapy, right? Like if you have a purse or a backpack, you can carry some aromatherapy, put on your temple, or another scent that might make you feel calm. Perhaps it's a fabric, you can put a fabric, you can rub something. This is basically an example of the Portable Distress Toolkit, except that you're never going to be without it, because how many times are you ever without your phone? Not many. So the first tip that I will share with you is create a comedy channel through Pandora or other music stations that help induce moods that you want to be induced. For example, anger for me is one of the biggest things that I need to work on. It's constant. I got to stay on top of it all of the time. And for me, especially since I drive so much, road rage can easily come out of that anger. And so if I feel stressed, or if I feel that I want to challenge my mood, so opposite action, right? There's a video you can check out that I did using opposite action. Instead of feeding into the anger by putting on Eminem or putting on loud, volatile music, right? 9 Inch Nails. These are things that I would listen to. Enter your own group or band here, singer here. Instead, I might put on something like a comedy channel that I've created on Pandora. So I have my favorite comics. And you can literally I don't know anything about Android, but literally I can just say, Siri, open Pandora, and I will have it set to my top comedy channels. And they're funny, right? Like, it's hard if you're laughing to be angry. And so if I'm laughing on the road, right, I'm letting people come in. I don't feel like I'm in such a rush. My mood is elevated. It's a great way for me to relieve the distress of feeling angry. And it's also can be used in other situations, when you're trying to distract yourself from feeling very sad or depressed. Let's say you're at home, maybe you have PMS, right? Maybe something terrible has happened, or maybe you're ruminating, or like you can't get it out of your head. I've done another video on obsessive rumination. Putting on a music genre or a comedy channel can challenge that feeling right away. And in doing so, it pulls you out of that feeling that you don't want to be lingering in. I mean, there's nothing wrong with feeling sad or happy, of course, but you don't want to stay sad all of the time, and you cannot stay happy all of the time. So try that. I've also used playlists on my phone. So this is tip number 2, right? I will create certain playlists on my phone, and I'll give some examples of what they're called. One will be happy, one will be called love, one will be called inspirational, one will be called angry, one will be called workout. Once I was I was like really hating on some ex-boyfriends for a while, so one of them was called I'll Cut Your Balls Off, right? Like, that was one of the playlists. The tactic is different, but the outcome remains the same. You're using a type of music to influence you. So, for me, for workout, my workout music is upbeat. It could be Eminem, and then it could be, Lady Gaga, and then it could be like Dave Guetta, right? It's all of these things just to keep me moving. Like, I want it high, a high BPM. If I'm trying to relax, right? Ocean sounds is another great one. Nature sounds, things of that nature. And the goal here again is to use the music to either motivate you into a mood or to challenge a mood or problem that you want to get away from or get some distance with. The third tip kind of piggybacks a little bit on that, and that is creating a white noise playlist on your phone. So there are many white noise apps out there. I believe the one that I have on my phone is literally just called white noise. The cool thing about this is that it comes, preloaded with a bunch of different sounds. So ocean, rainstorm, train, heartbeat, all different kinds. But you can also create your own. So let's say that there is a place that really brings to you joy, that really, when you think of this place, it evokes a certain feeling. Maybe it's a childhood home. Perhaps it's a favorite vacation spot, right? Perhaps it's a rainstorm. You can create your own white noise. Okay, you can record it for 2 minutes, and then or 5 or 10 or whatever, and it'll create a white noise, and it just loops. it'll just loop it. You could listen to it for hours and hours. I have created white noise from a favorite walking path that had this creek. It's called Holmes Parkway. You know, I would go down there, walk. It was like nature. It was very calming. It was a place that I associated with being calm and wise-minded and regulated. And I made a recording. Another time I went to Mexico, and you know, the waves were super relaxing to me, and so I recorded some white noise. It can be helpful when you're at work, you know. It could be helpful when you're trying to fall asleep. Okay, my fourth tip, again, plays right into that. Let's talk about work. So on your phone at work, YouTube is full of white noise channels, right? Like there's TV for dogs, right? There's ocean sounds. I used to have, at my work, I had two monitors, and one of the monitors would be at work, and the other one was just like a loop of like 10 hours of ocean waves and like boats going in and out. Use that on your phone, especially when you are reading emails or engaging in, you know, a conference call, then you're on mute, or, you know, you're doing something stressful. You know, a lot of us have work anxiety. Well, we have work anxiety. We have anxiety in a lot of places, but at work, at least when I was listening to calmer music at work, right? You know, it can be hard if we're not talking about being remote right now, but it can be hard if you sit at cubes, right? And you're in a cube farm and everyone's just stacked on top of each other. But it can be so useful to be listening to calm music while you're, you know, answering an email that could be triggering or upsetting. It could be really useful in the fact that it can help diffuse any sort of interpretation that you might have negatively coming off of this email that there's no evidence for. It could help you stop yourself from sending a snarky or negative response or anything that might create some anxiety. Okay. A fifth tip that I want to, so a YouTube list. Okay. The fifth tip that I want to offer is what I call an iPhone mastery list. So what does this mean? It could be a few things. I often use my photo albums. You can create your own photo albums, obviously, on your iPhone and just selecting pictures and throwing them in there. And you can also write yourself an iPhone note or a task reminder or something. So we're talking now about a mastery list, right? This tool is helpful when you're feeling low or down on yourself or sad, or that you're not making any BPD progress, or that people know that you're ill, or whatever, you know, just you feel less than. A nice reminder to have is a mastery list. So what is this? It can also, you know, be called an I love me list. So if we're talking about just making an iPhone note, it could say things that list your accomplishments, right? Or things that you've done that you're proud of, or maybe it's activities that you volunteer for, or, you know, perhaps it's something someone said to you that made you feel really good. You know, I'll throw some screenshots up here, but, you know, I've listed things anywhere from, you know, being in martial arts training and my instructor giving me a compliment that I was, you know, throwing a jab hook really well. It could be, you know, for me, I didn't, you know, honk my horn for a whole week. It could be I volunteer at a soup kitchen, or I donate, you know, clothes that I no longer need. These are things that make me feel good. And then I write them down so that later when I'm feeling really bad about myself, I can go back and be like, you know what? I'm a pretty decent gal. The pictures for me are even more powerful. And not only do I really love photography, but images can be, sorry, my cat's being a little bit nocturnal. He likes to come alive at night, as you can see, and it's going on midnight here. I love to use photos. And so for me, an I love me photo or a mastery photo album would include places that I've been, right? Favorite destination spots that like help me recall, oh yeah, that was a really nice time. Like that's my happy place. It could be pictures of me and like a family member that I really love, or my dog. You know, my pets are huge to me. They bring me so much comfort. It could be, you know, a picture of you crossing the finish line in a marathon. It's anything that makes you feel good about you, because it can be so hard remember, when emotion is high, logic is low. It can be so hard in that emotion high, logic low moments to forget all of these things and make it easier to beat up on yourself and be like, oh yeah, you do suck. Oh yeah, you're never going to get better. Oh, you're always going to be alone, right? Boom, challenge time. Bring out my I love me list. Bring out my I love me photo album. And pictures, again, super helpful. They could be just about anything. The goal here is to create a reminder list that you are a great, loving person, that you are making changes, that you are not just stuck at the 0 mile marker, that you have made achievements, right? List accomplishments. I just celebrated 2 years at work, right? That used to be a big one for me, because a lot of times I'd last a year and then I would leave. Oh, I've lasted 3. Wow, I've been here longer than any other. Like maybe my BPD's behaviors are getting better. Again, these are all just distress tolerance tools that can help you in a minute. Look at your phone, listen to your phone, have your phone work for you to pull you out of a mood that's going to become problematic and could lead to problematic behaviors. So let me know if this has been helpful. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Tell me in the comments below, what do you use for your distress tolerance? What are some of the things that help you through the day? Are they on your phone? Are they not? And again, the reason that I really like using my phone with these skills is that you're never without it, right? You may forget your incense at home. You may forget your fuzzy scarf that makes you feel at home. You may forget a picture, like a physical picture, but you'll always have your phone, generally speaking. I know I do. This has been BPD Woman. I'm Jen. Thank you for tuning in. Please consider subscribing below. And in everything you do, please be effective. Bye-bye.